And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the first of this season's main break shows brought to you by Crowcast. A very interesting struggle at the Adelaide Oval this afternoon. The half-time scores are the Crows 7 goals 9-51, the Giants 6 goals 7-43. Amazingly bad goal kicking to the river end. I think it was 3 goals 10 and only helped by Big JJ's goal right after the halftime siren there. Let's look at some quick stats. Of course, don't forget you can interact with this show. We're only on for halftime. You can tweet us at AFL Crowcast using the hashtag CCMainBreak. You can chat with us on the Spreaker app. And if you're really feeling like a bit of a chat, you can Skype in on BF Crowcast. So the head-to-head stats at half-time, the Crows slightly ahead on kicks and handballs. We're on 189 disposals to 176. Handballing probably slightly a little bit more than we would probably like. Marks 54 to 45. Tackles, we're going very well there, 28 to 19, and I thought our intensity was quite good throughout that first half. Sauce is doing a good job against Mumford, breaking even on the hit-outs. Giants getting slightly more favourable calls from the umps. They're up about 4 or 5 frees, and some of the umpiring, especially down in our defence, was a bit dodgy. And, of course, our conversions are very, very sloppy. 43.8% scoring shots to conversions, but only 20... Sorry, what is it? We'll leave that one. 33 inside, 50s to 21, and it really reflects the fact that we should be far more in front. We've burnt the ball, and we'll talk about that a little bit longer as we go forward. Contested possessions are pretty even. Uncontested possessions were up a bit. We're throwing the ball around a little bit. We're not going too bad on disposal efficiency, up around 72.5%. Contested marks 6 to 5, marks inside 50 10 to 7. We certainly picked that up in the second quarter because it was pretty woeful at quarter time. Just in front in the clearances, getting smacked in rebound 50s, but that's because we've had quite a few forward 50 entries, and the 1%ers, whatever that means, 27 for us, 14 to the Giants. We are cracking in a bit. Don't forget, you can tweet us in at AFL Crowcast using the hashtag CCMainBreak, and you can also Skype in BF Crowcast, and of course you can chat with us live at the Spreaker app. Hope you enjoy the next 15 minutes or so. Now, just some individual stats for the Crows. Look, we've just been wasteful going into the forward line. The usual suspects are getting the board. Rory Lair led 19 disposals, 13 kicks, 6 handballs. Miller getting involved in that second quarter, up to 13 disposals, 7 kicks, 6 handballs. Matty Crouch, obviously, 12, 6 and 6. Richie Douglas going all right, 11, 7 and 4. Rory Atkins also came good towards the end of that second quarter, 9 and 2. Lukey Brown's done exceptionally well down back, probably our best defensive player along with Daniel Talia, although I think Andy Otten's done well in his first game back for 1,000 years as well. And Charlie Cameron could be having the game of his life if he could actually kick straight. He's had the 8 kicks and 2 handballs, but about 345 points, it seems like. 3 behinds, all from set shots. Had the 5 tackles as well. Thanks, Buddy, for joining us. Tackles are telling at the moment. We are holding them in with our frenetic attack at the ball, but you do feel like GWS are just a couple of clean possessions away from breaking the game open, and those missed shots in the second quarter from McGovern and Charlie Cameron and 1 or 2 others. Brody Smith had an opportunity. We really should be 3 or 4 in front. Now, for the Giants, their main possession winners, Kelly, 17. I thought he's been outstanding. Heath Shawdown's back's been his usual quarterback self. You wonder whether we need to actually get someone to play a bit closer on Heath Shaw, and maybe a Troy Menzel. Callum Ward's been very good with 13 posies. Zach Williams, despite a couple of snafus, has been very good as well with 13. Tom Scully's been excellent for them up forward with 12, and Phil Davis, I think, has been the best of their defenders down back, not only picking up the 8 disposals, but really nullifying Josh Jenkins in the aerial contests and helping out with Mitch McGovern as well. Just on Mitch McGovern, please, can someone sign him? What an absolute gun Mitch McGovern is. So let's just have a look. My best player up until half-time, I would have to say, is Rory Laird. It would have been Charlie Cameron because he is getting a lot of the ball around the packs and also chipping in up forward, but I just can't give Charlie Cameron best to half-time at the moment, given that he may well have cost us the game with those 3 misses. Rory Laird has just knocked up getting the ball, and he wins the main break star award at half-time. At the other end of the scale, Curtly Hampton's been quiet. He's only had, Curtly Hampton's been pretty quiet with 2 and 2. We had high hopes for Curtly going into the season from midfield, but even though he did he worked his way into the contest towards the end of the second quarter there, but we need more from him in the second half. Tiles has only had a couple, but I thought he's been a bit of a rock. The guy that I'm going to give a bit of a rocket to is Kyle Hartigan. Kyle, we know what his limitations are, but particularly in the first quarter there, I thought it was pretty average and not an AFL standard.
Pathetic effort. Well, that's pretty hard on an individual, but he's going to have to live with that.
Thanks, Malcolm. And look, Kyle, I know will bounce back because he is a quality player, but he is, as Vardy points out in the chat, a confidence player as well. And he might be down a little bit on confidence at the moment. Don't forget, you can tweet us at AFL Crowcast using the hashtag CCMainBreak. If you'd like to be making a comment on the halftime situation, you can chat with us on Spreaker, and you can Skype in on BF Crowcast if you feel like it as well. Now, look, I don't know about people watching. My impression from the game so far is essentially that despite looking like we were going to get overrun halfway through that second quarter, it was a really good effort by the Crows midfield to get back on top. I feel like we're playing very much a rebound style game, and once we've had the ball in our forward half, we've done very well at maintaining field position. And only a couple of times has GWS managed to break free over the back. But you've just got to make it. You've got to make the most of your opportunities. These behinds that we're kicking with 7 goals, 9, and they're all set shots. AFL footballers, professional AFL footballers, should not be missing shots from straight out in front on your home ground with little breeze. Brodie Smith, Charlie Cameron, Mitch McGovern, they are 2 of our 3 mainstay forwards, and Brodie Smith can kick a goal as well. And we just can't afford to be missing those against a team that is going to bounce back in the second half. And I'm a little bit concerned that despite all the work that we've done in keeping ourselves in the game and actually being in front at half-time, you just feel like GWS are a little bit more efficient with the ball. You feel like GWS have a bit more talent on the park that might come to the fore when the game's there to be won. And I could certainly enjoy us being 3 or 4 goals up at three-quarter time, because I don't know whether we've got the legs to go with their rotations for the full 4 quarters. Don't forget, you can tweet us at CCMainBreak or at AFL Crowcast using hashtag CCMainBreak. You can join Vardy Magic on the chat. Thanks, Vardy, for tuning in, mate. Good to see you there. Look, and also you can Skype in if you feel like it at BF Crowcast. Hope you're enjoying the show so far. Look, second half, Vardy's asking about my predictions for the second half. I really am worried about our ability to run out the game. I think that we've put in a power of work actually to get to half time in front. I thought we worked extremely hard, particularly in the second half of that quarter. to maintain field position, and they did struggle, GWS, to break free of our forward press when we did have the ball in our forward line. But, give the GWS team a chance to regroup at half-time, Leon Cameron a chance to reset and make a few adjustments. I don't know whether we've got many other shots to fire. I think we need more out of our middle-tier players. Tommy Lynch has been quiet despite his 10 disposals. He hasn't had a lot of influence on the game. Rory Sloane, also the 3 and 6 for 9 disposals. He's been around the mark, but as we've seen in the past with Rory, and understandably so, after a facial injury, it does take 1 or 2 to get back into the swing of things. Brodie Smith, despite having a few good moments, has only had the 9 touches to half-time, and we do need more from him off half-back rebounding. I thought D-Mac was okay despite his usual 5 and 3 to half-time. He's going to have his usual, 15 to 18 touches, but I thought he did some nice things. We need more from Troy Menzer. We need Josh Jenkins to actually start taking a mark. That'd be nice, Josh, if you could do that anytime soon. I know I harp on about it all the time, but with Tex out, and that reduces our ability to have Mitch as a lead up forward, which is obviously putting pressure on Tommy Lynch. Josh, we need you to take a mark in the second half, please, if you don't mind. Down back, I think Jake Kelly is struggling with the pace of the game. Obviously, the matchups there are extremely difficult with the 3 tall timber, although they haven't caused us too much trouble on the scoreboard as yet. Just the fact that Jake's a couple of times he's found himself up against Rory Lobb. Not an easy task, but he just looks a step off the pace. Andy Otten looks okay. I think he'll be better for the run, but I think the team will benefit from having Kyle Chaney back in at the very least next week, and hopefully Jakey Lever as well after his good performance in the SANFL yesterday. Riley Knight obviously hasn't had much of a run, so look to him to get involved in the second half. Interesting inclusion, actually, Riley Knight for Tex. I'm not sure about that one, to be honest, but I think they sort of painted themselves into a corner a bit at selection, so not sure about that. Look, we're 13 minutes in. Feel free to send us a tweet or give us a Skype call on BF Crowcast or Twitter AFL Crowcast using the hashtag CC Main Break, or join us on Spreaker on the chat there. So whilst we're in front in the second half, I don't really see us kicking on with it. The third quarter obviously is going to be very telling as to whether we can stay in the game, but it is hot and humid. We have worked extremely hard up until now to stay in the game, and I'm not sure whether we're going to be able to run out the 4 quarters. So that's it from me, guys. Thanks very much for listening. We'll be back again next week. It's been our first run, so hopefully people will get involved as the season goes on, and we'll get this done a bit more smoothly. But good for the first up, and go Crows. And also congratulations to the AFL women for their fantastic win yesterday. Just an amazing performance. Erin Phillips is an absolute star. Chelsea Randall's an absolute star. And they did the Adelaide Crows proud. And we thank them for their efforts, and hopefully their heads aren't too sore today, although I reckon they are. It was actually very good to see Ed Marinoff turn up, because I think it would have been doubtful. So that's it for me for now. We'll be back at 7 o'clock this evening for the wrap show with myself, Nikki and Macca. But in the meantime, continue to send us in your tweets and your thoughts about the game, and we'll discuss everything, hopefully discussing a win as we wrap up the weekend's footy tonight at 7 p.m. Thanks, guys.